Hi, everybody. My name is Ronnie Mills. I am the project manager here at Richmond Main Street Initiative. And so I want to welcome you all to our annual stakeholders meeting for 2020. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for your time and participation and also your contribution to the community members that represent our downtown and greater Richmond communities. And so 2020 presented us with a myriad of trials and tribulations, to say the least, that not only tested our resolve, but also the resilience as a community. And so for the next few moments, it is our aim not just to share the facts and figures of our organization and the work that we've been doing here, but to also share the stories of what has kept the heart of our beloved city beating throughout this 2020 year. And so with that being said, I want to share a few housekeeping items with you all. We have a chat feature displayed at the bottom of your screen if you're using a laptop or a desktop. If you're tuning in using a phone, that chat feature can also be accessed by tapping the little three dots that should be on that bottom right-hand section of your phone. And during the duration of our gathering today, please feel free to share any questions that you may have using that feature, and either myself or Alicia will take those questions during our Q&A section. And so we'll also be muting all of our participants until the final Q&A time, but feel free to introduce yourself using that chat feature, as stated before. So we are recording this meeting today, and so it will be sent out to you all via our social platforms and newsletters. So if you aren't following us on any of those avenues, we'll share more information on how to stay connected with our work in a few moments. And also, if you don't want yourself to be displayed, you can also just take yourself off of the video feature as well, although we like to see you. And so if you're still with us and ready to go, throw a thumbs up in that screen. Thumbs up. Yay, yay. We're good to go. Awesome. All right, so let us get started. I think, Alicia, we're gonna ask that you get me my slides. All right, so a little bit about us. We are Richmond Main Street Initiative. Next slide. And so our mission here at Richmond Main Street is to revitalize the historic downtown Richmond as a pedestrian-friendly urban village, offering products, services, arts, and entertainment that reflect our community's rich heritage and diversity. So since 2001, we've been an accredited Main Street program, and also an Urban Main member, and also a California Main Street Alliance member. And so our Main Street approach focuses on economic vitality, design, community, promotions and marketing, and clean and safe. And so just to give a brief overview of our initiatives, our community initiative focuses on building and strengthening relationship with all of our stakeholders in the downtown area. Our promotions and marketing initiative aims at promoting downtown businesses and downtown through arts, culture, and entertainment activities. Our Clean and Safe initiative focuses on enhancing public safety and the cleanliness of our downtown area. And our Economic Vitality initiative aims at supporting downtown businesses and Richmond entrepreneurs and ensuring equitable development. And lastly, our Design initiative focuses on enhancing the physical appearance of downtown. There we go. And so here's a brief overview of our team. Our newly appointed interim executive director, Alicia Gallo, who's been with us for a little under a decade, over a decade?
A little over.
Little. So this handsome gentleman here is myself, Ronnie Mills, project manager. We also have our board, newly appointed board, executive board, and our board members listed down below as well. And let's see. So this is our downtown Richmond property-based improvement district, or our DRPBID. And so it focuses on public-private partnership managed by Richmond Main Street, that's here, and is funded by annual assessments on commercial and nonprofit housing parcels. So this fund pays for services and activities designed to make downtown economically viable, safe, and attractive by continuing established environmental and economic enhancements that supplement base level city services. So this fund was formed back in 2012 and renewed for 5 years back in 2017, and also has about 82 parcels with 34 property owners. And so our district that we try to focus on is between 6th and 16th Street along McDonald Avenue, and also that encompasses the area between Barrett and Bristol Avenue. Oh, all right, and so our community at downtown Richmond encompasses our downtown Richmond residents, businesses, property owners, and our board of directors and committees. And a brief list of some of our partners that we partner in our work here is our nonprofit and community organizations that includes East Bay Performing Arts Center, Fresh Approach, Iron Triangle Neighborhood Council, Renaissance Richmond, and a list of others. City and county departments that we partner with are also the City of Richmond Economic Development, Public Works, Community Services, RPD, and Supervisor John Joya's office. And a brief list of our funders and supporters are the Mechanics Bank, Kaiser Foundation, SF, San Francisco Foundation, East Bay Community Foundation, Square, and Wells Fargo.
Thank you, Ronnie,
Yes.
for that excellent overview. Reminder for some folks who we are, what we do, and also an introduction for some folks, I'm sure, as well. Welcome to folks who have tuned in. We saw a couple people come in through the beginning of the portion of Ronnie's presentation. And so now we will be jumping into, our report out from our work from 2020. 2020 started off very positive. We welcomed a new executive director with Vivian Wong, and Ronnie and myself had been working to, bring her into the Richmond Main Street family, get her trained on our Main Street approach. And we also had a fantastic annual board and staff retreat on Friday, the March 13th. And then, of course, a few days later, the entire Bay Area went into shelter in place, and all of our fantastic work plan ideas for 2020, which was really efforts to continue to build on the successes and the impacts that we've made in the years leading up to last year, kind of went out the window. And so with that, wanted to segue into what our COVID-19 response was, and then how that impacted the work that we did with our more traditionally defined Main Street approach categories. From the moment that the shelter in place went into effect, we quickly realized that there was going to be a huge need for increasing access to information about COVID-19, about the shelter in place, health orders, and where folks could access resources. So to be able to rise to the occasion to meet that need, we immediately started creating a community resource directory that started pretty small and then grew pretty rapidly to include sections on public health updates, prevention, transportation, resources for folks who had lost their jobs or were seeking employment. We, in addition to, information that would be really helpful for residents and families, we also made a very intentional effort to source information that would be helpful for our small businesses, and really, focused on providing those types of resources. And what's came out of that was actually transitioning our small business mailer from a monthly mailer to a weekly mailer. Information and changes to health orders and response programs were coming out so quickly that we really felt that it would be important to increase the amount of education resource work that we were doing. So we ended up sending out 37 small business mailers. That was about a 300% increase compared to traditional years. And really trying to do the work on behalf of the businesses, so they would just have a one-stop shop to find the information that they needed, so that they could not only survive the shelter in place, but hopefully be able to thrive through the pandemic as well. We also recognized that really understanding the true needs of our downtown businesses was going to be crucial. And so to that effect, we conducted as staff 4 downtown merchant check-in campaigns via phone, email, survey, and also door-to-door visits supported through our neighborhood ambassadors to check in on our merchants, see how they were doing, see how we could be of service, make sure that the lines of communication were open, and also provide them with information. We, recognize that some of our businesses aren't online, they don't use email, or they're solopreneurs. It's just one person doing the entire shop. So we wanted to try and make the information as easily accessible to them as possible. And one project that I really want to highlight and lift up is the incredible generosity of one of our newest downtown businesses in 2020, Left Side Printing. They stepped up and they offered to provide free customizable open for business banners for Richmond-based businesses, so that those businesses that had to modify their operations to be able to stay in compliance with the health orders would be able to communicate to their customers how they could shop locally with those businesses. And so this partnership with Left Side Printing, Left Side did a lot of the heavy lifting, donating the banners, and we helped to promote the banners to the downtown businesses, but also throughout our small business network. And I believe in the end, 19 Richmond businesses took advantage of this offer, and that was about $1,000 worth of free product donation that those businesses were able to save on their end, but also be able to stay open and operating. And then a lot of the work that we did internally was we really focused on educating ourselves on what coronavirus was, how the shelter in place orders were going to affect folks, and some kind of emerging best practices on how to support the community and in particular small businesses during that time. So we participated in a lot of COVID-19 response workshops and webinars. We really tapped into our California Main Street Alliance network, had almost weekly meetings for a period of time to connect with our Main Street professionals throughout the state of California, but also at the national level to see how folks were handling the situation in their community and also sharing out what we were doing. We were really collaborating on some collective strategies, especially around advocacy for more equitable small business relief and collaboration between economic development partners in our local area. Another aspect of our COVID-19 response was our campaign to protect lives and livelihoods. This was a 100% Richmond campaign, and that was by design. So we were very fortunate to have our proposal accepted with the Travis Credit Union Foundation's COVID-19 Relief Initiative. So it was a dollar for dollar fundraising campaign that we launched in September. And in the end, we raised about $4,000. And we utilized those funds to purchase PPE that was manufactured locally by Richmond businesses that in total employ about 60 individuals. So we were very intentional about spending those dollars locally so that we could keep those funds within the local economy. And what we did with that PPE was we donated it to our downtown businesses and to residents. So in total, 17 downtown businesses took us up on this offer to receive free PPE from us from this campaign. And about 140 custom cloth face masks, 130 bottles of hand sanitizer, and 55 face shields. We were very fortunate and happy that we were able to support our downtown businesses by helping them keep their workers healthy and safe. And Ronnie is going to share a spotlight story from our COVID-19 response work.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Alicia. So pictured here, we have one of the 469 meal giveaway program volunteers holding up one of the 82,000 500 meals that were distributed to our community members in need. That's a large number, guys. And so this initiative lasted from about September 1st to December 31st of last year. And within that time frame, there were about 34 meal distribution dates being held roughly every Tuesday and Thursday. And so in those 3 months, Richmond residents and our PAL volunteers provided around 1,876 hours of service time to ensure our community members had access to fresh and healthy meals. So this program was also picked up on local Cron 4 news as well. And so it was just a really, really awesome to be a part of such a, starting out as a kind of a small endeavor and just expanding into being able to provide over 80,000 meals to our Richmond residents. So that was really awesome to be a part of that.
Yes, and then our Clean and Safe initiative work, we continued our neighborhood ambassador program, which is supported through the PBID that we manage. The program consists of 3 Richmond residents who are paid ambassadors that help to keep the downtown clean and safe. So they provide additional maintenance and hospitality services throughout the week. We had a brief hiatus from April to May due to COVID-19. Safety First, who is the company that we contract the services out to and is actually the employer of the ambassadors, and in consultation with Richmond Main Street, needed to take some time to make sure that they were able to implement all of the health and safety guidelines to keep the workers protected from COVID-19. And then when the workers did return in June, we conducted a big splash. So we actually hired 2 additional ambassadors temporarily to kind of get us caught up on some of the maintenance things that were, kind of piling up because they weren't able to be out on the district for those 2 months. And they've made a huge impact, as they continue to do from every year. So, these numbers are pretty much the same as in past times. So it's just an accumulation of all of the great work that they do in the district. So for the three ambassadors, they logged just north of 2,200 hours of service, collecting and removing 550 bags of debris. That's a combination of trash and natural debris like leaves, especially during the winter. That's their big lift, is the leaves. And they also help us to both identify and resolve some larger kind of quality of life issues. So things like dumping or overflowing trash cans or graffiti. And they were an incredible asset to our team in keeping tabs on the small businesses and seeing how they were doing, checking in on them every day, and helping us with those public service announcement visits. And then we were able to host one beautification activity. It was socially distance approved. Everyone was masked and, using hand sanitizer and maintaining their distance as much as possible. And we were able to host this beautification activity at 15th and McDonald, courtesy of a partnership with our PAL and Groundwork Richmond. And it was the youth participants from these 2 organizations that really led the way and were fantastic beautification team members for the day, focused on a very large planter that's lengthwise along 15th Street, butts up against the CoBiz Richmond and the BART parking garage that had just become overgrown with weeds and lots of trash. And so cleaned all that out, put in California natives and a nice fresh layer of mulch, and really beautified that corner. And so huge props to them. Actually Richmond Standard did a fantastic story and a little video of the work that we did on that day. So when we send around the PDF of this presentation, please make sure to click on that link and you can see the story and a little bit more details and some of the close-up faces of the people who really rolled up their sleeves, had that elbow grease to get the beautification project done. Oops. Oh no. And then Ronnie's going to share a little bit about some other volunteer ambassadors that we worked with over the year.
Yeah, so on the right-hand side of this photo here, we have Chris, who initiated the community green space cleanup alongside Dante, who's part of our neighborhood ambassador program. And so his brother and Dante, they joined him in adopting the community green space for about 3 days of work a week for about 17 hours of service. And to date, they've removed about 11 cubic yards of green waste and trash from the green space. And so we're super thrilled to have Chris and his team join in our efforts to keep downtown Richmond clean and safe.
And then our economic vitality work from 2020, we really honed in on supporting our small businesses and our entrepreneurs. We've been building our small business assistance program for years. I mean, since before I started in 2010. And I must say that all of that infrastructure work that we did to really understand who our small businesses and entrepreneurs are, what their needs are, and how to provide them the best service really paid off last year. And so some of the things that we did, we continued with offering the one-on-one technical assistance to folks who needed help with business development, access to capital. Maybe they were looking for a space to move in downtown and wanted to know what was available. And of course, with the COVID-19 response navigation. So what types of grants or loans were available to assist them through the shelter in place and the other impacts of COVID-19, as well as promotion and just really probably the biggest thing that we heard from folks seeking assistance was, how do I find out whether or not I can be open and what I can do to remain open or reopen? And so we did a lot of that legwork of looking up that information for them and made sure to incorporate that information into the resource directory that we were managing as well. In response to a lot of the inquiries that we were seeing from people, small business owners, as well as just a wider dialogue or discourse from entrepreneurs, was, we got a sense that there was a great need for access to capital resources and information on how folks could access various types of loan products or grants to support their small businesses, as well as how to what's available for them in terms of debt restructuring. So we offered a workshop in August where we really highlighted the various CDFI and other affordable alternative loan products that are available in the Bay Area, as well as the most recent information that experts in the fields of bankruptcy or how to negotiate your lease payments with your landlord, to be able to provide that information to folks in case they needed that. And then another exciting new program that we added was a partnership with Square to help folks get their business online, to develop an e-commerce arm of their business or to revamp one that they already had. So what we did was we partnered with Square to help provide education on the Square's platform, their new e-commerce platform, and how various types of businesses could create their own e-commerce site free of cost. And we coupled that with roughly monthly virtual office hours with a Square representative. So if they had any questions from the how-to videos, that they could get those questions answered by a live human being in real time. And we also, Square donated a number of terminals and card readers that we made available to entrepreneurs as well. So another way that we were helping them was saving out-of-pocket costs so that they would be able to continue their businesses. And then some economic development indicators from 2020. We actually had a relatively good year in terms of the number of new businesses that we welcomed to downtown. There were a total of 11 businesses that opened. We did see 4 permanent closures. And of course, with the stay-at-home order order and the health orders, we did see a lot of businesses that had to temporarily close. There were about 16 of those. About half of them reopened, as of December 31st, 2020. And a good number of our businesses, in particular our nonprofits and our office spaces, had to transition to work from home mode. I believe most of them are still in that mode, but maybe starting to reopen, considering the more positive downward trend of the transmission rate of COVID that we're experiencing right now in Contra Costa County. We had some pretty sizable public-private partnership investments in downtown as well, totaling about $735,000. Probably the biggest investment was the installation of 2 Volta EV level 2 chargers. Both of those are located at 15th and McDonald. And this here is one of my favorite photos from last year. This is Michael Martin and Billy Ward from our board of directors with Diego Garcia, who is the owner of Left Side Printing. Last year, they relocated from their shop on 23rd Street to 1420 McDonald Avenue. And this was us at their grand opening on March the 13th. And now Ronnie is going to share a really special event that we did to help support our small businesses last year.
Yeah, and so 2020's Virtual Merchant Showcase was the first ever promotion and fundraising event highlighting local businesses in downtown. And I do see we have Galia here. Hi. So we partnered with Richmond resident Karen Buchanan and Uncover Discover to highlight downtown businesses with Richmond trivia, history segments, a lot of just history. I'm from Richmond, so there were a lot of information that even I didn't know. So that was really awesome to learn about that. Live demonstrations of products and services from 4 downtown merchants. And so Ms. Galia also shared with us how to make shea butter, which was amazing because we use that quite often here at my home. And we were able to donate proceeds from ticket sales of those events to the participating businesses. And so although these showcases are on hiatus currently, we are very much looking forward to showcasing the many new businesses and entrepreneurs that have made downtown Richmond their home in 2020.
Beautiful. And an overview of our focus on community from last year, we participated, us as staff, in a number of coalitions and working groups listed here. Probably the biggest support for us was the California Main Street Alliance, and our ability, our status as being an accredited Main Street organization really came into important play with us being able to connect with our sister communities throughout the state of California. And then I was also very honored to be nominated and to accept the nomination to serve on the board of directors of California Main Street. And so Richmond has a very robust representation with California Main Street Alliance and almost a direct tie to national. So really focusing on making sure that we're able to access all of the resources that both of those organizations are providing, and to continue to advocate for the importance of putting Richmond on the map and getting our stories out there to the larger audience. And we also have continued very strong partnerships with a number of organizations and groups in the city of Richmond as well. A couple of other highlights from our community initiative from 2020. Our Main Street volunteers continue to rock and just be absolute superstars. And we would not be able to accomplish all of the work in our huge mission without the support of our volunteers. So in total, 569 volunteers. This includes our board of directors, our committee members, our and volunteer ambassadors, all of the meal giveaway folks. They contributed 2,300 hours of service. And if you were to put a dollar amount to that, those donated hours, it's just north of $62,000, which is remarkable and incredible. And almost forgot because of the pandemic that last year was the census. And we signed on again, as we did in 2010, to be a partner in getting a complete count for the census. So we were a member of the Bay Area Complete Count campaign. And the way that we helped to try and ensure as complete a count as possible of our Iron Triangle residents who are historically undercounted in the census was through a very robust digital marketing education outreach campaign, as well as phone bankers. And Ronnie is going to spotlight the phone bank work that we did.
Yeah. So we have here Ricardo, who is one of our phone bankers, one of the 2 phone bankers that we hired on to help us with the Census 2020 work for the fall of last year. And so this was to encourage Richmond households to complete the census survey and ensure a complete count for our historically undercounted neighborhoods, like Lisa just stated here. And so the focus area for this specific campaign was the Iron Triangle, and in partnership with the United Way Bay Area, our phone bankers were able to contact about 1,500 plus Richmond community members to ensure our communities were well accounted for. And so it was really awesome just to be a part of that work for last fall.
Yes, and then promotions and marketing was very different this year. We were not able to host any of our historic in-person events, kind of the events that have put us on the map, Music on the Main and Healthy Village Festival and Spirit and Soul. However, pre-pandemic, we were able to squeeze in one in-person event, which was the premiere of Downtown Rediscovered, which was a youth-led media project that is a 3-part documentary series exploring the history or the past, present, and future of downtown Richmond. Definitely encourage people to watch it if they haven't seen it. And we hosted it at the CoBiz Richmond space, which was really exciting, as we were pretty much the first people to use their new state-of-the-art audio-visual recording studio, which was really exciting. We were able to pivot some of our events into a virtual platform. So as we mentioned earlier, we created a whole new event that was the Virtual Merchant Showcase. And then we completely digitized and made virtual Spirit and Soul Festival. Very excitingly, we aired it on Coffee TV 20. That was on Saturday, the 17th. So we were able to reach tens of thousands of folks by being able to broadcast not only on Coffee TV 20, but also on our social media platforms. And because it was a virtual event, we were able to record it and kind of leave it up for in perpetuity, so you can rewatch it and relive the experience of Spirit and Soul. And we made sure to also incorporate some kind of like traditional in-person experience opportunities as well. So we partnered with 8 businesses to not only promote them during the festival by way of commercials, and those were offered exclusively just to downtown businesses. But we also partnered with 5 businesses that offered special or festival specials, which were promotional deals that people could purchase or partake in concert with the Spirit and Soul Festival. And then in December, we continued our partnership with East Bay Center for the Performing Arts and created a virtual version of the Downtown Holiday Festival, where we contributed Storytime with Santa. And the East Bay Center performers did some really interesting and unique interpretations of their fantastic Richmond Nutcracker presentation. And then we did host one socially distanced special activity. It was Santa Claus is Coming to Rich City. So part of the traditional holiday festival celebration includes visiting with Santa and children receiving a goodie bag. Obviously, because of COVID, that was just not safe to do, but we didn't want the community to go without having that sort of special holiday cheer. So we enlisted, recruited 22 fantastic volunteers that made 140 special deliveries to 300 children. And this here is one of my favorite pictures. It's two Richmond residents who are husband and wife, and they went above and beyond and dressed up as elves to really make their visits even more special for the children that they were bringing goodie bags to. Another aspect of our promotions and marketing work from 2020 was we really leveraged our social media platforms and our other digital platforms to support our local businesses. So throughout the entire year, starting in March, we ran a Support Local Safely campaign where we highlighted, dozens of downtown and Richmond-based businesses and organizations in our newsletters and our social media. We did host a Small Business Saturday again this year, and 9 downtown businesses were promoted through that campaign. And then probably our most interesting promotional campaign is Heart of Richmond, and that was in June. And that was 4 weeks where we profiled 12 different businesses through sponsored ads, articles, and video spotlights. And Ronnie's going to tell us a little bit more about that campaign.
Yeah, so the Heart of Richmond series for me was my favorite part of the work that we've done for last year. The series fully encapsulated the resourceful spirit of our community members. And so in this campaign, we had the privilege of sharing the stories of about 12 of the most resilient Richmond businesses over the course of 4 weeks. These consisted of food and beverage, Latinx-owned, women-owned, Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. And so through this Heart of Richmond series, we were able to sponsor ads via our social media platforms, interview posts, blog posts, and videos, and provide each business with a professional photography services through our partnership with a local photographer, Robin Lopez, from Shots from Richmond. And so in addition to all of these wonderful items, 2 of these local businesses gained even greater brand exposure through profile articles with the East Bay Express newspaper. And so highlighting the setbacks and pivots and successes of these businesses allowed us here at Main Street and for everyone that participated with that campaign to take a glimpse of what it truly means to live out Richmond's motto of pride and purpose. And so it was so amazing to be a part of sharing their stories last year.
Yeah, there were many moments where we were listening back to the interviews and just like getting all teared up. And it's like, oh, this is what it's all about. And like, this is why we do what we do, because, these folks who own these businesses and run these businesses, they are, it's their passion, it's their calling. And so it's more than just a business. It is, part of who they are. And so, yeah, just hearing their stories more firsthand really actually helped me as well just feel a little bit more motivated to really, do everything that we possibly could to be supportive during that time, and still motivates us today as well. And here's a quick snapshot of our budget from what it looked like in 2020. Oh, there's no total numbers. I apologize. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. So our total income amounts from 2020 was around $323,000, and our expenses around $345,000. And at the bottom here, you can see these were our major supporters from 2020. A lot of them were COVID response related, Census 2020, and then sponsors with Spirit and Soul Festival really came out in full force this year as well. So really appreciative to all of our funders and donors from 2020. And then looking forward to 2021, new year, new opportunities. So in the first quarter, which we're just about to round off here, we've had some changes or transitions in our leadership team. Our executive director from 2020 resigned at the end of February to focus her time on her growing family. And then I've gratefully accepted the role of interim executive director to serve the organization. And then we also have had a change in our board of director leadership. So we are very grateful and thankful to the work and support of our executive board from 2020. Billy Ward was our board chair with Robert Rogers serving as vice chair. And Sarah Wally as treasurer and Yvette Williams as secretary. And this year we have just a couple of changes up with our chair role. So Robert Rogers has is now serving as our chair and Charlene Smith as our vice chair. COVID-19 conditions seem to be improving, so we are cautiously optimistic that that improving trend will continue. We're continuing to keep our eye on those situations and adjusting our work, what we do and how we do it accordingly. And even with, before the county moving into red tier, I think it was last week, we've already had a couple of positive starts for 2021. Art in Windows is back, and it's back with a little bit of a twist. We are partnering with Naiad Art Center to have an Art in Windows show in 2 locations. So one at our office space at 1600 Nevin Plaza and one at their space on 23rd Street. We do currently have a call for artists out. So anyone on this call who is an artist and knows an artist who either lives or works in Richmond, please check it out. We want to hear from you. We want to see what you have and hopefully include you in the exhibition that will be happening in May. And then we will also be doing a virtual reception with a make and take activity. That'll be a lot of fun. That'll be in May as well. And then in June, the additional twist to this year's Art in Windows is we will be hosting a business development workshop specifically for artists. And that will be open to all of the artists who answer our call for submissions and also other artists as well. And we have had one new business open up, so New Life Cafe. They're in the Market Square Mall. Folks who are familiar with the area will know their space is where Terra Beatings Deli was located for a number of years. And I must say they've done a fantastic job of rehabbing the space. It has a wonderful new coat of paint and whole new vibe and style, and the menu is really delicious as well. So please go visit them, support this Richmond-owned business. They are at 322 Harbor Way. Unit 7, and they're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And another positive start that's really exciting is we seem to have kind of accidentally launched a pilot program inspired by Chris and his family adopting the community green space. There's some residents within the Metro Walk area who have stepped up and have started volunteering to help maintain that. Started with that beautiful 15th Street and McDonald Avenue planter, and they've really whipped that into shape, which is fantastic. And now they are expanding and adopting other planters. So we have this new program, we're calling them Planter Ambassadors. And so anyone who's interested in helping out, you please contact us. We'll have our information on the last slide. And then a quick snapshot of what our Main Street approach and what our work plan for 2021 will look like is reflected here. Just due to the kind of unpredictability of COVID-19, we have opted to continue with a mostly virtual event schedule for now. And so with Clean and Safe, we're continuing with our Neighborhood Ambassador program, building out our Planter Ambassador pilot program. Tentatively scheduled is will be Chill with a Cop event in August. Whether it's virtual or in person or a hybrid approach is to be determined, and we'll make that decision based on COVID-19 conditions. We're also planning for doing a virtual Spirit and Soul Festival again this year. More details coming soon. And we will be continuing highlighting all of our downtown businesses and happenings, and really working to continue to promote the downtown districts through all of our platforms and our work. Our Square E-Promise program is evolving a little bit. We've continued with the on-demand webinars and the virtual office hours with our Square representative, but we are also launching a university webinar series in April. So, and the information is here. So any small businesses that are interested in either starting up or retooling their e-commerce platform, please do check this out. And as an added benefit with these monthly webinars and the office hours, we also have free Square registers, which are an $800 value available as well. And so all that information is on our website. And we will, of course, continue with our one-on-one assistance to our small businesses, small business community, continuing with all the community work that we engaged in last year, as well as our COVID-19 response right now is transitioning. It's continuing to be, acting as a resource hub for businesses and residents, and kind of other work as dictated by the pandemic conditions. And then lastly, what's on the horizon, a little bit outside of our usual work plan structure is, we're exploring office reopening options. We will also be beginning the renewal process for the PBID. That work is likely to begin in May or June. And we will be conducting an executive director search as well. More information about that is to come. That is about it from our end. We want to thank you all for tuning in and for listening, and also want to open up the floor for any for a Q&A session from anyone, any of the topics that we've covered already or something that we've missed. And I think, Ronnie, I'll hand that over to you. Have we received anything in the chat?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
If you guys do have any questions, you can also throw that into the chat as well. We'll leave the floor open for questions. Taylor, looks like you have a question.
Not as much a question as just curiosity. Just so you guys know, I'm a graduate student at San Diego State studying city planning. I'm researching business associations across the state, so hence why I'm here. I'm here to learn, learning about what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Obviously, a lot of tough times with COVID, so keep it up. I'm excited to hear about a lot of the volunteerism that is seems pretty unique to your organization. So congrats on that. I'm writing a thesis, just kind of giving some best practices for business associations across the state, and I should be done with that in June. So I'm just trying to learn, and just want to say thanks for letting me be here, and yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor.
Well, hello. I want to say hello to all of you. This is Abdo Nasser. I kind of joined late, and forgive me, I'm using a laptop. That's not mine because it has a camera. My computer doesn't have a camera, and I want to see your faces. And so nice to meet you all virtually. And congratulations to you for your new position. Hopefully you stay there. I think you will do a great job if you stay there. Also, the other comment I want to make is about the restaurant, Hacienda Grill, that's located on 1000 Evan. Of course, you have helped me in the past, and I would like to thank you so much. You have speeded the process a long way. However, it's still not there yet. The planning department, Mr. George, he have signed off back in February and forwarded to the fire department. We have sent, my architect, he have sent like, I would say about 2 or 3 emails trying to get some response. So far, no response. And it is extremely hard, as I stated before, to have a closed business. As you know, there's mortgage, taxes, and insurance. It's pretty difficult to go through this. And the tenant is eager to open the shop up for business. But however, we're not able to do anything due to the lack of city response, which is right now in the hands of the fire department. I'm hoping they will able to help us and speed the process to move forward. The other building I have is 1030 Nevin. I submitted an application for a modification. As you know, Lifelong, they have moved from there. And we submitted a demo application back in October. Until now, it's not even on record. We're not able to do anything about it. And it's another, again, it's pretty hard to pay the taxes, insurance, and mortgages while we're not able to do anything with the buildings. So these are my 2 concerns. And other than that, I appreciate you being there and doing what you're doing. You and Ronnie are doing a great job, and we look forward to work with you guys. But we need to make those revenues to move things forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, Mr. Nasser. I know we've, you and I have worked together for a number of years, and it's been a great pleasure getting to know you more, and also to connect with the tenants that are in the spaces that you have in downtown. I'm glad I was able to be of service with you, with the 1000 Nevin Avenue. And let's definitely stay in touch. And I'll send you, let's get in touch later this week. And let me see, how we might be able to support you with, finding out what's going on at the city level. We're here to support for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
And nice to meet you all the neighbors, and look forward to meet you guys in person once this thing is over. I think
exactly.
It's coming to an end, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully at the restaurant at 1000 Nevin.
All of you guys can come and have free lunch when we open.
I don't need any further motivation, because I love the job that I have the honor to do here, but that, sold.
It's not the motivation, it's an honor to have you guys there.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess we're coming to an end, and hopefully we'll meet each other soon.
Yeah.
I think Robert has a question.
Okay, great.
Thanks so much, Alicia. I'd like to just say a few words if we have a moment or two.
Yes.
Oh, great. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Robert Rogers, the chair of the board of directors for Richmond Main Street, and I'm really happy to be with you this evening. Alicia and Ronnie, that was a fine presentation. I think it captured a lot of what we all saw this year. 2020 was absolutely a year of adaptation and resiliency. And it got darkest before dawn at certain points, but the organization and the businesses and the stakeholders all acquitted themselves quite well. And I'm really very bullish on 2021 for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of pent-up demand. There's a lot in terms of stimulus out there. And Richmond Main Street and the downtown area has got to be positioned to really capture upon this. And I think it is in part because of the relationships that we forged together during the difficult times in 2020. You saw that in the presentation, whether it was new merchants like Left Side Printing, providing volunteers and providing resources, or whether it's Richmond Main Street and its staff itself out there on the front lines, working with people to sort of reimagine what downtown could be in a time of crisis. And all of that positions us well for 2021. There's no doubt that, and we have housing and other developments coming in as well. We can't forget that downtowns and commercial districts like Richmond's are going to remain vital nexuses in our communities in terms of social, and that's both physical and virtual, interaction, public health, cultural vitality, economic activity, and much more. We have to reimagine what we can do as downtowns and also discard some of our pre-COVID-19 frameworks. Now, transforming and adapting, all of this is going to require all of us together. It's going to require deep collaboration and investment, and organizations like Richmond Main Street stand at the forefront. They help as the glue bringing us together and also provide resource procurement and also technical assistance, whether it's through Square or other partners, in helping merchants thrive in a new environment. So the future in 2021, although I'm really hopeful on it, it's not going to be a return to normal per se. It's going to be to some degree a reimagining of what we can be now and in the future. It's about adaptation. It's about public spaces serving multiple fronts in a post-COVID world. E-commerce, virtual interaction, these are going to be things that are here to stay. And we as a downtown and we as entrepreneurs and as businesses have to think about how to best capitalize upon that. The downtown can be economically viable and it can be more inclusive. And so setting it up for success is going to require us all to really continue to work together. So this is a great presentation by Alicia and Ronnie, and we're also very much benefiting from them staying at the reins now that we've lost Vivian to other great things that she's doing with her family. So it's a time of transition, but we have the organizational capacity and the knowledge to get us through these next months and years that are really a crucial and vital time. So I urge everyone to reach out, whether it's to the board or probably more directly to staff like Alicia and Ronnie. Anything that we can help with, the more that we can know about what one another is doing and we can learn about our concerns, our problems, our challenges, the more we can work together to be effective. So again, I'm Robert Rogers. I am the chair now with Richmond Main Street. We have a great team together. I also work at the county supervisor's office, and we're 2021's a good one, and we're all sort of reporting for duty here today. So thanks again, all stakeholders here tonight, and Alicia and Ronnie for this great presentation.
Here, here.
Thank you. That was very refreshing. Gives us a lot of hope.
Yes, thank you, Robert, so much. Couldn't have said it better myself. I think it was a perfect way to wrap up today's meeting, and perfect segue into our final slide before we sign off. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and please do stay engaged. Let's keep this momentum moving forward. We work in partnership with the community to help make the changes that they want to see. So please, check us out online, subscribe to our newsletter. That's really a really great way to get the latest information from us. We're also very active on a number of social media platforms. We have an app, which is your kind of one-stop shop for our business directory, updates, other things like that. And then feel free to reach out to either myself or Ronnie. Here's our contact information. Our doors are metaphorically always open. So with that, I will say thank you again for tuning in. Wish everyone health and wellness as we continue with 2021, and looking forward to seeing you online and hopefully in person safely soon as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.